Welcome everyone to one of my first Blender tutorials. I've been wanting to do this and felt like I've watched so many other people's tutorials that I feel like I'd give a little back here. But I didn't want to mimic what I've learned from other people, so I sat around and figured out how to make a open-end box-end wrench without using the boolean and just doing some straight modeling. So we're going to get started here. We're going to get rid of the splash screen. I'm using Blender 2.69, recently released, and that's about all I can tell you about it. It's free open source software, 3D, very powerful, very compelling. Do a lot of stuff with it. Okay, so we'll hit the splash screen. We're going to get rid of the cube, delete. We're going to go to our top view, our top ortho. And we're going to drop a mesh circle in here. And one of the things I wanted to mention here is that when you make a box end wrench, the star pattern inside has 24 sides to it. So we're going to add 24 sides here to this circle before we really get with it here. And then we're going to hit tab for edit mode, and we're going to you can select all. I'm going to hit extrude and then S, and that will extrude me another portion, another ring loop to the interior here. Alright, so we're going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to hit A to deselect. And what I'm going to do here to make the star pattern is I'm going to select every other vertex on the center ring, like so. This will give us our internal star pattern for the box end. And then we're going to hit S and scale in. I'm not going to make it too much. And then I want to go out a little bit on this. So we're going to select all the other ones and resize this inner loop a little bit, like so. And we're going to fix this because I kind of sort of started it another way. We're going to go forward with it. We're going to get out of edit mode, and we're going to do Shift D. And then we're going to go GY and pull this other duplicate down. And let me click out of that temporarily. And then GY again. I'm going to pull this down. I've got kind of a funky background on my screen here, but I found out how to use the user preferences and go in and kind of modify the default screen. But what I'm going to do, instead of duplicating this, we're just going to delete this one for now. And we're going to add we're going to click our cursor right down here, right click, and then we're going to add another mesh circle. We're going to keep it at 24, but we're going to do a little modification down here. I've already got our box in started, so we're going to zoom in here. Drag it up. And what we want to do is we want to kind of shape this like the other end where it's the open end of the wrench. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use what is called proportional editing. And we're going to just hit S. And we're going to, you can actually go X here. I want to bend it in a little bit like so. And then we're going to deselect and then take the square selection, the box selection. Yep. Okay, we're going to edit. Okay, so I had to get an edit mode, but anyway, it's still the same. So we're going to deselect, and we're going to use our box edit, like so. And then we're going to SX with our proportional editing on them. How did I do this? Okay, well, we'll deselect there. And we'll make another box selection here. And maybe because, okay, I know what it is. I'm going to okay, I haven't got the proportional editing on. Okay, that will help. I had it off when I was in the object mode. Enable. Okay. SX. And then we're going to do Control I to inverse our selection and get our shape like that. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, now we're going to hit. Okay, so we got sort of a shape there like the end of a wrench, and we're going to turn proportional editing off again. And I'm going to zoom in here. And I'm going to select 3 of these vertices down at the bottom. Like so. And our proportional editing is off. I'm going to drag these up like so. And then we'll zoom out a little bit. And then we're going to come down here, deselect again, and then go here and pull this in, SX, to sort of straight. Something I didn't mention earlier, when we're modeling here, we're going to have our box end up here is a pretty big size, relatively speaking. So we're going to try to match this up. And we're going to hit the box select and select all these vertices. And then we're going to go cast X. Because something I'd overlooked earlier is I want to have kind of the same size for the wrench end down here. We may have to move the vertices around to accommodate this, and it looks like we will. So we'll deselect here, and here box select, get these 2 vertices here, move them out a little bit, maybe turn back on the proportional editing to get our shape. Like so. We have to turn it off. Control Z on that. Save. And we'll see how this looks. Okay, that's going to look pretty close. Still want to do a little more shaping here. Let's see how this looks. I've stepped through this about 4 times because I want to make sure I give you a good way to model this without getting a lot of bumps and lumps in it. When I started, I had triangles and I just had a real mess. So I've gone through this quite a few times, and we're going to temporarily move up a little closer here. So let's see if we can tweak this a little bit. We want to tweak this, make this fairly straight. So it kind of pops in. How about that? Okay. So we're going to call that good for now. We can, shape this one more time. Let's tweak this a little bit. I'm using the arrow keys down here. And then click confirm, a deselect, a reselect. Okay. So it looks like things are shaping up here. Now we want to go up to our, what we want to do is we want to join these 2. So you use your box select like so. Oh, we gotta get out of edit mode. Okay. Box select both these while in object mode and hit Control J. And now when we go to edit, we can work on both of them. But we want to join, we want to put our handle in here. So this is sort of what we want to do here. And we want to select this vertex on the top box end. We're going to delete it, that vertex. And then we're going to hold on a shift key and select this vertex, this vertex. Oh, okay. Deselect. We want to deselect this vertex down here. Eliminate it. Now, hold down your shift key. Select this vertex, this vertex, this vertex. Then hit F for face, and that will sort of connect them to get started. And then we're going to deselect, and we're going to use our knife tool, and you just hit K. I'm not using the screen capture feature of Blender yet. I hadn't quite figured it out, so I'm just using this one I have. And click on it and then enter, and that will make you another edge there. Then we're going to hold down the shift key. Select this vertex, this vertex, this vertex, this vertex. F for face, A for deselect. Select these four. F for face, deselect. Okay, so we've got a plane pretty much for the bottom part. What gets tricky down here is when we get some triangles down here, and we need to work on that a little bit. And I'll just point out here that if you go down and select these vertices here on this side, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then if you deselect over here, you got 2 right here. So what I did is I subdivided this edge twice. Okay, and then you deselect it. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, but we're still going to wind up with a triangle anyway. So we're going to try to minimize the triangle count here, and then we're going to go here and do the same thing to this line, because this is where we're going to have might have a problem with triangles. Subdivide twice, and then deselect. Now I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start where the trouble is going to be the most. So if we have any problems, I'm going to go ahead and make a face with this bottom 2 triangles. Over here, I'm going to select that gimbal gets in the way. You can not display it by hitting the little gimbal symbol over here, because when you're working close, it'll get in the way. So we're going to just build some more faces here. Yeah, A, other side over here. Like so. Yeah, over here. A, and then I'm just going to keep doing this process here. We're going to have some other triangles here, but don't sweat it for now. Just kind of try to keep it uniform, try to keep it symmetrical, and then if we run into problems, we can fix them before we really get ready to extrude our final model. And I'm trying to go through this and start with the most troublesome parts, and maybe we can patch it up before it comes to full render. It's kind of a good strategy there. When you're modeling, you know, you want to work from the general shape to the refined shape. And when I first got Blender, I jumped in and I started making all kind of subdivisions and making really messy high poly models, and so I backed off and followed the suggestions to go from general to finish, you know, the more refined. So anyway, it looks like we're gonna try to keep this triangle problem to a minimum. This will be a quad here. Let me make sure, yeah, it's going to be a quad. So if you can keep it down to quads, it's really good. And sometimes it takes a little strategy when you're doing your bills. You will have to have triangles occasionally, but they can be annoying and cause problems with your normals and your shading. So try to keep everything square, three-sided. Minimize all your three-sided stuff, even though when you get right down to the root of a quad is two ties, but you want to try to keep it down to quads if you can. Now here, if I connect these, I'm going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided figure. So if we go up to this edge here, or select these two vertices on a straight edge here, we can subdivide that and put another vertex in there. Okay. And now we can build some more quads here. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm glad I've went over this 4 or 5 times, because now I'm showing you how to do it without running into some of the problems I had earlier. Okay. So, technically speaking, this is where it got me here. Technically speaking, this is a quad, because you got 1, 2, 3. So you got 1, 2, 3. You got 4 sides. This pole point is the is where you get a problem. But we'll see. We'll build the quads and we'll turn on for faces and see if we got a normal dot for each one. And then if we are, I think it's going to be smooth sailing. So it looks like I've already got a problem here. Okay. Let's back up. Yeah, I knew it was going to run into something there. That pole point is going to create some problems. Let me try this again. Yeah, we got a funky edge there. Let's see. Maybe if we divide this vertex one more time. Or better yet, we'll get in there with a knife tool. Okay. Okay, let's try the knife tool. That's K. And then we're going to pick a point up here somewhere. We'll just say it's on this third block of grids here. And then we're going to enter. We're going to do the same trick over here. Put it about that third way. Hit enter. Okay, so we got some. Let's see if this will stave off my problem here. F. Now let's see if this try is going to act nice with us. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to get it, keep it clean. So it looks like we're smooth sailing here for now. You have to face it, a deselect, hold down the shift key and just click your mouse, your 3-button mouse. I've got a Wacom tablet, and the Wacom tablet works pretty good with it. If you set the user preference for emulate 3-button mouse, but I don't know what it is. When I start doing camera renders before I do a final, the Wacom tablet wants to die. And I don't know why this is. So we're going to check. Let's look at our normals here. Okay, so we got little normal dots on everything, and we haven't got a whole lot of polygons here, so we're in good shape. Okay, Z to see all the vertices. Now, my wrench does look kind of weird. It looks very short. We're going to fix that. So, we're going to try to do a lot of the work. We're going to turn the gimbal back on. And we're going to try to do a lot of the work, the creasing and stuff, before we get right down to actually extruding this. And actually, to put that little twist on there, you notice that the ends of the wrench will be kind of facing the opposite direction on the diagonal a little bit there. We're going to go ahead and do that while we're in here. And then we're going to get the other end up here. They give us that, give it a little extra torque, I guess, on your wrench. I guess that was the reason. Okay, so we got normals and all the little faces there, and things are looking pretty good. So if we hit 1 and go to our front ortho, we're going to do, well, actually, no, wait, I want to point this out. On these, the edges that when you actually grab your bolt head or your nut, they're usually sharp. So we're going to go ahead and crease these before we even extrude. That way it'll be nice and cool on both sides. So you can do the same thing with the shift key. You can also use this little circle select tool, which you can use the scroll wheel to size it. But you got to be careful because you might grab something you don't want. And this way you don't have to. Wait, edit mode. Okay, let me get out of that. Okay, we'll do it the other way. Oh, okay, we're on face select. Okay, so we're going to go back to vertex select down here. Now we can use a little circle tool. Anyway, that kind of saves you from holding down the shift click, and actually you can drag over, but if you drag too far, you'll get an extra vertex. So I just kind of it kind of frees your hand, one hand up. You can not have to shift click, hold on the shift key, so you can kind of do the circle tool. Now notice I have to hit the escape key to get out of it, because once you're in it, you can't do anything else. So hit escape, get out of it. Now what we're going to do is hit Control E. I'm going to get this edge crease, and then you can drag your mouse, and you see your little line will turn pink. And if you go down, if you look over at the very bottom left hand corner, you'll see a little thing that says crease, and it will change as you pull in toward the center. So we're going to set our crease, I don't know, we're going to say little, we're going to go, it looks like it's reading 654. We're going to confirm it. Okay, so we got 654. Well, actually, you know, just remember that number, because we should have selected down at the bottom too. So actually, we'll Control Z that. Okay, and we'll just we'll go ahead and select these also. What I call the business side of the inside, where it grabs the bolt or the nut. It's usually a sharp edge or a creased edge. So we'll do these both at the same time. That will save us a little time. Control B, and you'll drag your mouse. No, it's not working. Yep. Okay, we'll try it now. Control E. Okay, we're gonna have to back up here. Escape. Okay. Control E, edge crease. That's what I want. So now you'll see you get your little lower left hand corner. I guess because I'm way up there, we'll go for 416, and now we'll see if we got both of them. Okay, we got our top and our bottom. So we got a crease. You can see it's marked in kind of a magenta or a pink color. Okay. So anyway, now we're going to hit one for our front ortho view. And let's see, I'll show you that these are still marked. So you'll know that those will be creased on the extrusion. And we're going to go to box select. And we're going to select the whole thing. Then we're going to go E, Z. And sometimes you have to hold down the Z key, keep it straight. And then A. And we'll see what we got here. So we got a good extrusion and we got our creases for the interior part where the tool grabs the bolt or the nut that you want to kind of keep. Now, I'm going to do one more thing here. And we'll kind of show you, I'll show you how to do the quick and dirty material for this. We'll get this cursor kind of in the center there. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to show that off too. But we're going to zoom in here. And we're going to put a bevel on part of this. So we're going to select our edge mode here, like so. I'm going to select our edges. We're going to go around the top first. You can hit the Alt key and kind of rotate around the point you're looking at. Hold on the Shift key, Shift Alt to drag. Select that edge, and I'm going to drag on down here. And then Alt, kind of spin it right about there. And just hold on the Shift key and we only want these top edges because we're going to put a bevel on there. I'll show you how to do that. And we're going to spin this around. Now we got our creases on this, so we don't want to put a bevel on the inside there. Or we don't want to put a bevel on the ends. Matter of fact, we could probably go back and crease the very ends of the wrench, but for this tutorial we're gonna stick with what I've finally gotten figured out here. Shift Alt to slide, Alt to pivot, like so. What I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and go do the bottom and the top at the same time to save us a lick here. And we're going to move right along here, spin this edge. Spin that, and drag. Oh, almost got not to hold down the Shift key. And spin around here. Spin, spin, spin. You know, wherever your cursor is, you hold down that Alt key, it's going to spin it like so. So you can kind of do a little finger dance there. And then Shift Alt to drag. And then spin. Shift Alt to drag. And spin. Now we're going to turn this sucker over. We're just going to do the other side. It's the same repeated action. We're going to get both sides in one whack. Save us a little time, a little trouble. Probably get a more get a consistent look overall. And then I found out I can do a you can get away with a subdivision modifier. But you got to do it a certain way. Oh, there we go. Got to do it when you get into the modifiers. I've tested this. And I got some pretty clean topology, which is always good. Really good clean topology, low polys. That's what you want. You don't want to go subdivision crazy when you're modeling it first. Kind of start out with a rough shape and work your way up to a refined shape. So, get that all the ship mixed up. Oh, no, we don't want that one. We want this upper edge. shift alt drag. Get that big long one there. And we're just about in the last lap here. Oop. Alt to spin. Alright, so we got our edges. Now we're going to Control B. And it's a crazy thingamajig again. Okay, I didn't get any. Let's see. There we go. So you can. Looks like I got a problem here. Something is wrong file. What happened here? Okay, we got some kind of something ain't right. We've got a cross vertex there. What the hell? How did I get that? Okay. So, well, we're gonna move along there. I don't know what they brought that about. I wonder if there was an extra vertex in there or something. Let's look at the vertices. Let's look at the faces. Oh my golly, we got normal dots on the faces. I don't know what brought that about. Well, that sucks. I was going to get a nice bevel on there. I'll run across this damn problem. Okay, well, I'm not going to stop the video here. But that's something you got to watch out for, definitely. We got it down here too. Boy, that just doesn't. Yeah. I don't know what I did wrong there. Maybe we can get away with the edge split. Let's see, Control E. I don't know what that does. I don't know where this see you is. That really breaks my heart there. Anyway, we're gonna skip that step till I get it figured out. Anyway, I'm not gonna call this a failure, but doggone it, I had some bad topology there. So we're just gonna go with. I'm gonna show you the quick and dirty material. What it really irritates me. Anyway, so we're gonna move on from here, and maybe I'll get no better topology. We're gonna add a. We're gonna name our wrench. I got pretty close on that. I don't know what I did wrong, but back to the drawing board on that one. So anyway, yeah, that's just we'll get that added over now. And that might have been, you know what? I don't know. Maybe because I had the proportional editing on, but something went afoul there. So we're going to drop the plane in here. We're going to look at the top. We're going to back up. We're going to put our 3D cursor right about there. We're going to add a plane. I'm going to set up my lighting, and then I'm going to show you how to do the material. And we'll stick that right there. We'll just make it really big. Put a checker texture on it, and drag it down here. We'll get it on. We'll get it right on 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And everything on 0. Now we'll lock that plane in place. We'll move our wrench out. Just kind of rest it like there. And what I've been doing here is just for you real quick when you're kind of testing things out, you're making something new. I put these, I just take the default lights and I do a duplicate, and then we do a GX to drag it kind of like this right on the other side there. Alright, that's now, and then we're going to go down to our plane. You can rename that as a floor if you like. Then we'll hit 0. We're going to lock our camera to the view. And then I'm going to drag out the node editing panel. And I'm going to first put a checker on the floor. We'll set this to render. And we'll get the node editor going here. Kind of a cool feature with 2.69. Oh yeah, I want to make sure on Blender cycles too. Okay, Blender cycles. That's the engine you want to use. I'm going to delete that. We're going to delete that. We're going to come in here. We're going to add a material shader, or material output first, like so. And then I'm going to add the image texture, or the checker texture. I'm going to drag it node there. We're going to set this to a red. And I think you still have to put the diffuse shader in to make it work. Let's see. Okay, we gotta have the diffuse shader in there. There we go. Yeah, you gotta put 3 of them together. You gotta have the texture, the diffuse, and so now you got your checkered floor. And the lights are looking a little sad there. We're going to use our nodes. And we could get this up to about 500. Do an emission shader. And use nodes on that one too. We'll do it 500. So you see what? We got both the lights on both sides. So this is kind of default lighting setup. It's nothing really special. It's just because you're kind of like you're testing out and you want to play around with the image. So, okay, we got our setup there. So now we're going to go to our wrench and we're going to do our quick and dirty. What I call a quick and dirty, because I got into the nodes, and man, if you watch some tutorials out there with guys that have got 5 or 6 years of experience with Blender, gee whiz, I mean, they get really fancy. I mean, they're out there, they've got, you know, 125 different nodes. They got them grouped with inputs and outputs, and eyes just rolled back in my head. But I'm getting there. I can learn how to put together a little something different here. So we're going to make this quick and dirty material. And I got my diffuse. I'm going to add we're going to add a mix shader right here. I've done this a couple times. I hope I can get it right here. We got a diffuse. We want to add an anisotropic shader. drag these into place here. Yep. I'm going to have our mix kind of right over here in the middle. Yeah, use that by now we're going to add a glossy to give it a little reflection. So, let's see how I'll rig this thing out. Okay. Okay, what I did here is I put the mix on here, and then we need a what did I do? I think I took an add shader. Yeah, okay, let's see, that's what I did. Oh, okay. Here's what I did. So we got these mixed together, and then I put in this add shader, like so. Now zoom out a little bit. Now we plug this one and into this one, and then this output to our material. Now, as you notice, you look over here, we're going to zoom in and take a look. Take a look here. Tilt this up where you can see the you see we get a little anisotropy going there. So you can go in here. We'll drag this window over a little bit, and we'll close this panel for now. We'll zoom in. So here's anisotropy. So you got that little like polished metal, or like, I don't know, like a pot and pan type thing. But we're gonna make a dark gray here. We need to get it on down there. I like it 54. And then we're glossy. We're gonna make it just a little bit lighter. So we had that at 54. We're gonna have that at about 142. And then we're gonna make this one really dark. Not so dark. Okay, so you can go in here now. You can go down. You can go down to complete reflection on your glossy. And I got it at about 200. And yeah, see the mouses, they're getting busy there. Cursor. So you can play with these settings. Yeah, that's a little too extreme. That's the anisotropy. That's the brushed metal look. So we've toned that down a bit. And when you do the factor here, when you got two shaders being mixed, like say if I drag this to above 500 or half, the anisotropic is going to be a little bit more than the glossy. If you drag it below 500, your the majority is going to go over to the glossy. So play with that. Now with the diffuse, how it's adding in here, you can bump up your roughness on the diffuse, so you get a a fairly good approximate metal shader. This isn't a 150 node collection of texture coordinates and converters and ramps and all that stuff. I mean, they can get really crazy. Some of these guys that got 5 years experience, they go nuts with the material. And the nodes are real powerful. I mean, you got a lot of options. It's like all the strings on a guitar. I mean, when you take into account the scale and the number of strings and the harmonics and the octaves, you can play all kinds of music. Well, it's kind of a thing with the notes here. But anyway, this is going to be conclude. Now from here, you can see, you can go in and adjust the lights, blah blah blah. But anyway, that's it for this tutorial, my first Blender tutorial on how to make an open-end box and wrench. Apologize for the mess with the bevel. I don't know. I got some vertices crossed in there, edges or something. But anyway, I'll be doing more here as I get a little more familiar with how to do things. But that's how you make an open-end box-end wrench with Blender 2.69, and how to make a quick and dirty metal shader with Blender 2.69. I'm out of here, and keep on blending. Okay, thanks for watching.